Hello, this is Scott here, and today I'm going to be inspecting my bees. This video has been a little late coming, as it has been a crazy couple of weeks with me getting back into school and all, but I'm finally doing it. So here it is. Okay, I'm going to use that as my stand for the whatchamabobbits. The Hive deep, because I don't remove both of them, just one. One, because why would I need to remove that one when I can inspect it fully just without removing it? There we are. Okay, Honey, 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 honey. Good. Ah, yes. The smell that you only get inside of a hive. They really should sell an air freshener. Sure, that says a beehive scent. Because I myself would buy that. Get this out. Let me see her. Blank, empty honey, bit of nectar, and they're drawing out this comb. Okay, this frame has more honey built out onto it than it did last time. Remember this frame, this side of it towards me, you didn't have honey on it. Shoot, move, girl. Honey, full frame of this. Full frame of honey. Capped honey over here, good. They're starting to get going on this side, which is when I want to see. They need 60 pounds of honey, because a lot of people ask me why don't I harvest it the first year. Reason being, they have to build out all of this comb, and not only that, but get 60 pounds of honey to make it through the winter. Rather challenging for just 60,000 small insects. Okay, so they're building this frame out. Over here they have honey on it. I think I might have moved this frame around a little bit. I may move this frame around because this is nectar and they want to abandon it, which will encourage them to move over here a bit more and build on the other frame, side of the frame. Boy, there's a lot of propolis in here. Lots, tons, positively tons. Okay, lifting it up. Okay, bunch of bridge comb. Let me get a good bee-free handhold. Here, okay, so let me just scrape some of this off. That off. That off. Just get some of this. There we are. Girl. But yeah, this frame is just full of honey.
You're pulling off our first batch?
Nope, just inspecting.
That's your second batch?
No, I'm not getting honey this year. Because I have to get 60 pounds of it to survive the winter. and they haven't had and since I just got them sorted in April, they haven't had enough time. And to build out all the comb, it'll make 60 pounds of honey for the winter and makes enough for me to harvest. Okay, so honey,
We'll have enough to share next summer.
bridge comb,
Just so they have enough to make it through the winter.
more honey,
Yep.
nectar.
If they have enough honey
Wait.
to make it through the winter, you gotta give them some sugar.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I'm giving them sugar now anyway, just to help them out a bit more, and help them get enough honey. Let me that there. Put
They
this
sure
frame
go
down.
through it fast. That's sugar water.
Yeah.
Curses to propolis. Stronger than epoxy at cold temperatures.
Really?
I'd have to say so because propolis, it's just so dang strong. Full honey. This is a full frame of honey. First they've had all summer actually, so that's good. I need to remove this bridge comb. That'll just make it. I'm gonna encourage them to build on the unused frames instead of on already on the bases of already in use frames.
You'll have to talk to my brother-in-law sometime when he's out here.
He has bees?
His family raised bees in Nebraska for years. They had 200-300 hives.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, wow.
X brood comb.
He don't
They're
do that
backfilling
anymore.
it with
He still-
honey.
He still must have 100
Okay.
hives super in them.
Wow.
He ain't
More honey.
Oh, no?
Yep. Honey. Why am I inspecting these supers? I don't know.
that end in Nebraska.
This whole
I'll
frame
bet.
down there has mostly honey around the edges.
I bet. Probably great.
Now over here, honey around the edges again. There's a bit of capped brood in the center, so I'm going to take a look at this frame. I tell you, if you ever get a chance to hey look, there's a bee freshly emerged from its cell. See right there. They're vac-filling all these cells as soon as they come open with nectar. Always good. They're in the process of clearing out a few. So that frame's just honey, and same with this frame. I don't need to inspect those, which would just be a waste of your time because in my time, I would say, well, then again, inspecting your bees is never a waste of time. It's always a good idea to do, but you don't need to inspect them like every week without fail and look at every single frame. If you can see what's going on, you don't need to pull it out. Because the only reason you pull out a frame is to get a better view. Let me just lower this frame in.
We need to move our shade because the sun is moving.
Yes, I think we do. It's very important for your bees to have shade. In order for bees to have shade, just as a rule of thumb, keep them cool in the summer, help boost honey production, give them a few puffs of smoke. And now, just find a place to set them on the camera because this is really, 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 really heavy. And just like that, we're into the bottom box. So you see, so I see bridge comb, bird comb, and a few other things that I need to get rid of. So first off, I'm going to get rid of the burr comb.
Why do they call it burr comb?
I don't know. I think it's because it looks like a burr or something. Let me just break these frames apart. I wonder how long it took Langstroth to invent the Hive, this Hive that I'm using right now. Okay, so this frame should be honey, honey, and honey. But this is so heavy, I might eventually have to invest in a good pair of frame grips. Stupid propolis. Really gives me a major annoyance. Honey and honey. Okay. Now that I've moved this frame out of the way, I'll just set it over there very gently. And it was full of bees, so there's a bunch of angry workers all over the place now.
Some of them got squashed.
Yeah, sadly some bees get squished.
Hopefully not the queen.
Well, that was a honey frame, so I can be fairly confident that it wasn't the queen. If it was the queen, they would be far more riled up than they are right now. Honey and honey, X-brood frame. Nothing interesting.
How do you know it's an X-brood frame?
Because of the darker comb. Honeycomb that's just been used for honey for the life of the hive, is white, is almost white, whereas brood frames are range from dark brown to black.
Different kind of wax?
No, it's just brood frames. They have the most traffic on them. Boy, they're getting riled up a bit. I'm gonna give myself a few puffs. I have to curse the bees. Makes me smell like smoke. Ugh. And the smoke that I'm using is really not that savory in the nose, mouth, and eyes. Yes, this is the frame that I want. It's full of brood. Okay, let me Yeah, this is just brood, bee bread, and honey. There's a bee about to emerge from there's a few bees emerging. They're capping a larva over here. Or, wait, no, that's just a drone. Why are they making drones this late in the year? Eh. Bees just do things that I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Okay, you have a few larvae, bunch of capped brood, and honey around the edges. No queen on this frame. Okay, they're getting a bit riled up. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my gloves now. Now I can tell by their sound. And if it's just a low hum, I'm nothing to worry about. If it's a really rigorous hum, like I don't know, like a package of bees in your basement, being kept in the 70s, like 70 degrees. If it sounds like that, then they're probably queenless. You can tell a lot just from listening to your bees. Queen cup, nothing in it. Brood. More brood. Bee bread. Larva, brood. Nothing interesting. Bunch of larvae. Yep, this is mostly larvae. So yeah, you can tell this is an old brood frame I was given by a beekeeper, and you can tell how it is, it's darker than the rest. Okay, I'm gonna give them a puff of smoke.
When will you have to check for mites again?
I'm gonna get my mite check kit ready, put it with my bee stuff so I don't forget to do it next week. Honey? I can see a queen cup or two that they are taking down. You see 2 queen cups, these big fat cells that are slightly misshapen.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. Bees, they are clearing out this frame for nectar storage. Sorry, accidentally shook off some bees off that frame. So now they're fairly angry. And angry bees are not sociable. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, heavy frame, heavy frame. This is just honey sort on this side, and more honey sort on this side. Like I said, stronger than epoxy. And again, it isn't stronger than epoxy as it is more of a paste, but I tell you, in the Blues Brothers, if it was in the summer, instead of using marine epoxy or contact cement, they should have used a propolis because it is extremely tacky in the summer, and if you put that on an accelerator, it would take 20 seconds for it to let up at least. At least. Now let me go in here and look at this propolis. No, I'm not going to remove it. Now I'm going to drop down this frame, move this frame over. Look, a newbie. just gonna scoop up some of these bees by hand and drop them in here. Alright, well that's a fruitless effort, probably. Let me get that repositioned, and, well, thanks for watching this episode of my bee inspections, and, please, if you're new here, if you're new watching these, please subscribe, as it really helps me out. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. So this is Scott, and I'm out. I'll see you later.